AJ, thank you for joining via Zoom. I have a quick reminder before we jump into our next keynote. Calling to all women. We mentioned yesterday that Women in AI, the organization, want to do a group photograph of those that want to participate on the main stage just before the lunch break at 1 o'clock today. So if you want to participate in that group photograph, please come into the main stage area just before the lunch break at 1 o'clock today, and you can be part of that opportunity. So there you go. Now I'm going to introduce our next speaker, who steers Carrefour's data and analytics strategy and leads a global team of data professionals that delivers all the data technology and business intelligence and advanced analytics use cases. He also drives transformation across Carrefour's business operations to massively deploy the use, governance, and monetization of data and AI in the core retail operations. He's going to be presenting on the topic of how AI and, of course, generative AI are boosting the retail giant's operational efficiency and the customer experience. Please welcome the Global Chief Data and Analytics Officer of Carrefour, Sébastien Rozanes. Please welcome to the stage, Sébastien.
Good morning, everyone. I'm really excited to be with you today. I'm Sébastien Rozanes. I'm the Global Head of Data Analytics for Carrefour. Really excited to be with you today to talk really about concrete application of AI. So 100% about practice, 0% about theory for the session together. Also, I wanted to thank you to be with me today. Let's jump into the presentation. First and foremost, the clicker doesn't work. Oh, good, wonderful, thank you. First and foremost, what is Carrefour? For many of you, maybe you don't know what Carrefour is. So Carrefour is a massive global retailer, headquartered in Paris, but operating in 40 countries globally. Massive organization, more than $100 billion in sales globally. And it was actually born 60 years ago and created the format of hypermarkets. So hypermarkets is like these huge machines, kind of the Walmart here in North America, where you put every single product, every category is under the same roof. It was a revolution at the time in France, and then it spread across Europe, starting from Paris. And this revolution actually has evolved, and over the we have been challenged by many, many trends in the industry that are pushing us to reinvent ourselves. The creation and the evolution of Drive, so basically you purchase online, you get to the store, and you pick up your order, you don't even step into the store. The entry into the European markets, especially of hard discounters that have really reduced their inventory, their assortment, and really pushed the price at the forefront of the client being very, very cost competitive. The entrance of new players, the Amazon, the food delivery that have been very prevalent into the space now. You can get delivered in most cities in 15, 20, 30 minutes with your entire grocery. And of course, you need to reinvent and be fully digital to be able to do that end to end. And of course, there has been some new entrants. In France, we have Picnic, but new entrants that have really been fully online, not a single store. The only physical footprint that they have is warehouses close to city centers and are able to deliver very quickly and swiftly some of the fresh goods and consumer packaged goods. So what does it mean for Carrefour then? What it means is that we need to still. I have a problem with the clicker, really. All right. OK, thank you. So maybe I will say next page, and maybe you will help me. We totally transformed the positioning of the company to put digital at the forefront, and we created the concept of digital retail company. What it means is putting digital at the heart of every single application process into the organization, reinventing every single business lines with digital. And of course, it's a massive transformation. But what it means for data is that we actually created two big transformative streams for data analytics at Carrefour. I will focus the bulk of my time on the left-hand side to talk about data analytics, what we call data for business. So it's how we leverage our data to improve the customer experience, the operating processes, and the decision-making across all of our business lines. But first, and I wanted to stop a couple of minutes on data monetization, because one of the takeaways I'd like you to take from this session is really think about, in your business, what data you can monetize within your ecosystem, because it makes the life so much easier for me to have this business available at Carrefour. So we created, over the last couple of years, two main businesses to collaborate better with our ecosystem and make a profitable business out of our data that were here, sitting, and not creating any value. And why it's so critical is because as soon as you start putting value, turnover, sales, and margin on data, you get a return on investment. And what's best when you have a conversation with your executive committee to actually say, yes, we will invest on data, but you will have money in your pocket with this data. And it's the best way to actually transform and get strong investment. So data as a business, for us, has been transformative. I will give you a very short glimpse of what we did. Early 2022, when I joined, the first action I took is to create a business called Data Shopper, which is basically to put all the data we had globally across all our countries into a single data lake and expose this data lake to our CPG partners, the Nestlé, the L'Oréal, or the Procter & Gamble of this world, to access very granular data in store, at the store level, daily data that they never were able to find on the market with the third-party data aggregators, like, for example, Nielsen, who is a global leader on this data aggregation. And this created a first pool for the next wave at the end of 2022. We said, let's expand the set of data and expand, of course, the value it creates for us and for the retailer and for the CPG company by jointly defining assortments, pushing the right assortments in the right place together with the brand to save and be much more efficient, to do much better category management, to actually have data of inventories across the value chain, from the warehouse of the supplier, the warehouse of Carrefour, the inventory we have in store and in the reserve behind the store, and being able to fully optimize the chain to reduce the cost for everyone in the value chain, and ultimately, hopefully, pass on some of these savings to the customer and reduce the prices, which are the key to win in this market. And the third step we took last year, we announced that in June last year at Vivatech, the largest tech event in Europe, the creation of a subsidiary called Unlimitel. And Unlimitel, it's a business where we monetize our retail media, meaning that all of our advertising space, the space available in store or in our website, is a place to advertise and be much more customized when you address customers. Not only we put the Carrefour space in it, but we attach now 12 other retailers across Europe who are all into the non-food business mostly, and they are all collaborating and monetizing their space with this platform. It's now a fully owned subsidiary. So that was for the data as a business. I'm going to spend the rest of the time about transforming the core of retail, and hopefully, for those of you who are not working in retail, you will see a number of these things are applicable to any business, so the takeaway can be the same. So I will deep dive on three aspects: personalize the customer experience, improving and simplifying our processes, and then, of course, no talk today can happen without generative AI. So I will show you that generative AI is not something for tomorrow, it's something for today. And we have real applications that are running client-facing and employee-facing with generative AI that are generating a value. So it's not a theoretical topic, it's a very practical application into the business. So first, let's do a first deep dive into the personalization of the client experience with AI. I won't have time to go through all of these opportunities, but I want to go very practical into very concrete things you can do. With AI, you can personalize promotion and really have individualized promotion, and we'll do a quick double click on this. You can personalize merchandising to have the right product shown at the right moment for the client. You can really personalize the products you recommend at the right time in the purchasing experience, so that you push the right product and you convert this into the basket. And finally, we attach all of that into very simple buttons to have a very simple experience to offer alternative baskets for our customers. I will show you what it means. So as for personalized promotion, the idea is how do you use promotion and go from what we call a mass promotion, which is basically the leaflet you receive in your mailbox every week with the promotion of the next week, which are totally generic with probably 80% of the content that doesn't matter for you, to having super personalized promotions that are live and are able to be activated either online or offline. So for example, online with Danette, which is like a brand from Danone of yogurt. In July 2023, we decided to go and define a campaign that is, as you can see, very visible on the website. And the coupon that you receive is based on your previous purchasing behavior. One shopper is one persona. One persona gets, based on the criteria, gets an individualized promotion. And with that, we've been able to increase the number of different promotions to really micro-segment the number of promotions so that when you offer a promotional space to Danette, you know that the conversion rate of the promotion will be very high. And of course, it enables you to have much more varied promotion, and hopefully, each of your promotions becomes much more effective. Next is actually the product recommendation. Throughout the customer experience, there is an opportunity to put data and AI to transform the way clients experience the online purchasing. From providing them with, based on their previous navigation data, the product that they prefer, based on the previous purchasing behavior. When you do a search for pasta, which pasta do you put first in the search? With machine learning, you can propose actually a very simple algo that will put in place, like for example, a Barilla brand instead of the Carrefour brand first in the search, because you know the customer is more willing to buy a national brand versus a white label brand. Up to actually putting that into the substitution. Some products might be out of stock when you purchase. So how do you propose the right alternative products so that the client finds exactly what it needs and doesn't go to another retailer? So I don't have time to go through each of the 15 items here, but you can imagine that behind each of these boxes there is either optimization or machine learning type of algos that enables to personalize the journey of the customer. And finally, in this part, we started to actually find a way to actually meet the two main challenges of our customers. When we hear customers, they want to do two things. First, they want to buy cheaper, and they want to eat better. What it means by cheaper is how do I make sure that I get the best value for my money when I invest into food at Carrefour. So as you know, there has been massive inflation over the last few years, 2 years of high inflation, meaning some people were not able to afford every single thing they would like in the store. So how do you propose for your customers a very simple experience? We call that the anti-inflation button or anti-inflation challenge, where it scans your entire basket and proposes you alternative products that are either cheaper because they are on promotion and you didn't see the promotion, or because they are the Carrefour brand, so the white label brand from Carrefour, which is typically 10 to 20% cheaper and has the same properties. And sometimes, to tell the truth, it's manufactured in the exact same factory. So the idea behind that is to position Carrefour as the retailer of choice when you want to have the best possible value for money. And the other idea that we had is, because clients want to eat better, how about providing with machine learning, using all the nutrition information we have about the products. For example, in Europe, there is a widely known score called the Nutri-Score. So on every single packaging for big CPG brands, they put a Nutri-Score from A to E, just like a grade on the product. And this grading enables us as well to propose alternative products so that you chose a product that was E, so not very good for health, maybe because there was too much fat, too much sugar. How about you choose, for example, these potato chips that may be different, not with as much oil or as much salt as the other one, and maybe better for your health. And with that, in both cases, approximately a third of the clients were actually clicking on the button, end up putting into their basket an alternative product, either a cheaper product or eat better product. I will have to speed up a little bit. I will do one example here on how we simplify and improve our internal processes. We use data and AI to automate and optimize our assortment, to automate all the orders that are placed in stores based on machine learning, know exactly when to trigger the order, to have both, to reduce the out of order, out of stock in stores, and maintaining the freshness of the product. And one of the things I want to zoom on is the last one. Very cool thing for the bakery. We deployed last year an algorithm that was using our data to do much better demand management and save the equivalent of 5 million croissants produced every year in our bakery that are not going to waste. And these are the best use cases because they are good for the planet and they are good for the CFO. So typically, it works very well when you want to convince people of doing these kind of things. I will jump on to allow me to get a little bit of time to do the generative AI stuff that might be exciting for you. We'll jump on directly to this. Generative AI, I wanted to share how we practically got started, because I got this question many, many times from my peers, from people that I meet at conferences. How do you get started concretely? So we took that very early on in January 2023. Remember, ChatGPT 3.5 was a big announcement, was in November. And at the time, we said, how about we generate ideas? So we could have generated ideas on our own, but with the data team, but we said, no, we want to talk to the business to understand where is the need. The good surprise is that I booked 25 meetings with top executives at Carrefour. The good surprise was a third of them actually had experienced ChatGPT on their own. So that was the very first time for me that I saw AI being in the home of somebody. And actually, they already were super prepared when I met with them with ideas. How about I use ChatGPT kind of features to do that, then, and that? So we ended up launching at this time 3 use cases, and I will zoom on a few of them after that, to really first test and rapidly scale. And the testing typically took 6 to 7 weeks to get to a first version that was in production. And the second question I often got is, how do you get started in terms of, there are so many opportunities, where do you start? Actually, we ended up putting that into 3 buckets. Many of the use cases that emerged from the conversation were around productizing, meetings, emails, some Excel activities. And we know very early on that this would come from the Microsoft, the Google of this world, and there was no value for us to spend time on this because it would come magically to us, and it's the case. Now you have Copilot for Office, or you have Duet AI for Google Workspace for those of you who are Workspace users. The second category were all these use cases that were really bringing a very narrow competitive advantage in retail, primarily with a chatbot, and I will show you one example right behind. And we got very, very targeted on this. Where we spent the bulk of the time is on these Gen AI-enabled functions that you can totally reinvent using generative AI. Marketing function, I will show you an example. HR, how we do software development. These functions are totally transformed with generative AI. We'll do a double click on a few of them. Number one I want to share with you is how we revolutionize the grocery experience by addressing the number one pain point when you go online for grocery shopping, is the time to complete the basket. Why? For those of you who have experienced it, it might take 45, 60 minutes to complete your first basket. And guess what? You get interrupted by your friend, your family, your kids, and you never end up converting your basket. So how to address that? We created Opla. This is this small little egg. You can go on Carrefour.fr and even experience it. So it's client-facing since June last year. And with that, you can actually have a conversation on what you want to eat. And we loaded 1,500 recipes into ChatGPT, into OpenAI ChatGPT Enterprise, to actually have this conversation with the customer and convert a conversation around the recipes into products into the basket. And more than 40% of our customers go from the shopping list generated by the chatbot to actually converting the basket into a purchase. So from 45 minutes, 1 hour to a basket, to 5 minutes, with a much more customized experience, totally in natural language with the customer. The second thing that is really practical is we enhance massively, it was a one-shot effort, the product sheets of the Carrefour brands. Why? Because guess what, for the Nescafé from Nestlé, the guys from Nescafé, they send us a very cool description of the product. They tell you, oh, this coffee is all these flavors, it comes from this area in the world. And but for us, all this data were basically sitting on the packaging, but we don't have marketers in-house to actually do a cool marketing description. So it ended up being very basic. So basically what we told the algo to do is, here are all the data, so we scan all of the packaging, got with optical character recognition all the text that was available on the packaging, and we told him to write this coffee description just like Nescafé is doing it. So we had it learn the way Nestlé or Danone is doing product description, and told him to emulate this kind of pitch with real data, no hallucination, using really real data from the packaging. Simple. We would never have done it manually with a category manager doing that with 200,000 SKUs at Carrefour. We did it because it was easy to automate. So finally, I will go to the last example, which is how we revolutionize the marketing business, because we are a massive marketer. What we do, we produce advertising for our products, for our promotions, every single day. And all of this is produced in a 4 to 6 week process with a photograph, with a model sitting around the table, with products that are physically there, with people who are improving the images and the text, etc. We've transferred that to ChatGPT plus Midjourney, where now we generated last year 50,000 marketing assets with simply putting in place like this solution that generates both the text, the story that you push to Instagram or to Twitter on your products, and also together generate the image. How to do that? We loaded into ChatGPT, into Google Bard our product images. So basically, let's say you take an organic orange juice from the Carrefour brand. We add these images already, and it puts this product into the context of the images that you want. And you maintain with that an ability to be super customized. So instead of having generic campaign that we send to 100,000 customers, we micro-segmented our base to get to very small segments of products and customers and persona for advertising. So this concludes my talk today. Super happy to take a few questions if we have time. I don't know if we have time. We don't? Thank you very much.
Oh, unfortunately not. No time for questions, but I'm hoping we're going to go to a break soon, so maybe you'll be happy to speak to people offline if they have any questions
offline.
for
Thank you so much.
Thank you very